What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We went for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over here, and Spider-Man No Way Home just came out yesterday, so we're going to be doing a review for it right now. We're really excited about it. I know we both had a great time watching this thing, and I hope you guys did as well. But this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so keep that in mind. We're going to have another one down the road. The goal is, which Brett will tell you about here in a second. But just keep in mind with this review, we're not going to talk spoilers, at least not heavy spoilers. We might elaborate on a couple things that we've seen in the trailer, but if you've seen the trailer, you should be safe here. But if you don't want to know anything, then get out of here. That's what I'm going to say to you at this time. Anyway, Brett, man, what's going on, man?
Yeah, not much, man. Dude, this movie, just so much to talk about. It's gonna kill me to talk non-spoilers about this, but I am a man of far words, so I am gonna talk non-spoilers about this. But if you do want to see our spoiler review that we will be doing, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, ding, 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 so you all know when that next particular video is up and ready. And also, when you subscribe to us too, you will also see our Fight Club episodes, and we recently did one for Spider-Man Homecoming versus Spider-Man Far From Home to get you all ready for Spider-Man No Way Home, and we want you all to check it out.
Right, you are, Ted. But without further ado, what do you say we get into No Way Home?
Well, No Way Home. Is there a home? Is there a multi-world or multi-home? Anyways, besides the point, I'm ready to talk about it. Brad, I gotta hear your perspective real quick. What is your first positive about this bad boy?
For first things first, I gotta shout out for the crowd here that was with me in this movie. One of the best theater, it may be the best theater experiences from a crowd perspective I've ever seen. They were really into it. We're talking freaking standing up and freaking cheering multiple times in the movie to the point where I couldn't even hear what was going on, which was kind of annoying, but it was also really exciting at the same time. So I thought that was cool. There was a good energy in there. I'm talking multiple times. The entire theater erupted in applause. So that was pretty cool. So I'll go ahead and throw that out there as just a kind of a side piece. But outside of that, man, I thought this was the most in the Holland trilogy here, the Tom Holland trilogy. This is the most one of his movies that's actually felt like a true Spider-Man movie to me. The first two, while I enjoyed them and they were a lot of fun, I had a good time with them. They almost felt spoofy at times with how they portrayed the character of Spider-Man. Because the comedy is just going so far over into that spoof territory at times. This one, I thought all the comedy was really, I mean, it was very funny. They did a really good job with all of it here. It all landed really well, but they added some there's some emotional parts of it as well, and things like that, and some decent little character moments and things like that kind of kept it more toned back and kind of a more serious movie, I guess I could say.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll touch what you already talked about already. That crowd aspect. Holy crap! That's like I haven't been a part of a crowd like that since Endgame, like 2 years ago. With Endgame, and just I don't even know which crowd experience was better, Endgame or this particular movie, because that's how jacked my theater was. Like we were packed. There was not one empty seat in my theater, and we cheered when we were supposed to cheer, and it was great. And like you, it was kind of annoying, but I kind of already put that expectation in my head going into this particular movie that it was going to happen. So I'll go see it again, just so I can like hear the parts that I missed. But overall, great theater experience. And then my first big positive, this movie just delivers on all expectations of mine and more. And that's the best part when you have such high expectations for it and they just give you more. Holy crap, that makes a whole big difference in a movie and really makes a big difference for me in this one. Easily, this is Tom Holland's best performance as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He freaking delivers. Zendaya as MJ, she delivers. And hell, I'm a little iffy on the Ned character. He delivers in this movie as well. I feel like all of the characters, Doctor Strange, all of them deliver in this spectacular movie.
Yeah, man, I agree. I thought this was definitely Tom Holland's best performance as in the role of Spider-Man for sure. I think he was asked to do a lot here, some different things that he hasn't done before, and I thought he did a really good job with it. and he definitely moved up a little bit in my book of Spider-Man. Though I don't think he really moved up in the rankings that much, but that's okay. He definitely went up on the charts, and I think that's good. I really enjoyed that, and I thought, just in general, the chemistry among all the characters. I mean, obviously, if you know anything about this movie, there's a lot of returning characters and things like that, and they, if you're not careful with that, then it could seem overcrowded at times. But I thought everybody here did a really good job. The chemistry was solid together, both with our heroes and our villains, and some really great moments where they're all kind of hanging out together and things like that. It was a really good collaboration, I guess you could say, between everybody involved there. And another really good performance here is your man Willem Dafoe. Man, I thought he didn't miss a beat in his role there. So I thought that was amazing. He was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about William Dafoe that I actually read about. He refused to come back. Like, he will only come back if he was allowed to do his own stunts. So everything he did was all William Dafoe. No double side actor or anything like that. He did everything you saw in that movie. And William Dafoe, as you said, Brad, did not miss a beat. I think he was almost even better than what he did in the original movie. Like, close, but I still think the original is that much better. But William Dafoe did a great job. Of course, Doc Ock, he did a phenomenal job as well for what he was given within this movie, and the other villains you see as well, they do a good job as well. They all get like their equal turn to stand out in this movie.
They did, man. I thought that was done. The balance was done really well, I think, which is great because, like I said, if you're not careful with it, we've seen it be, them fail at it multiple times before in this franchise. I thought here they did a pretty good job with it all, and I enjoyed it.
And John Watts, the director of this movie, he's supposed to be the director for the Fantastic Four, and I was kind of like a little iffy on that because of how he handled the first two Tom Holland Spider-Mans, but after how he handled this one and the multiple characters, John Watts is the right guy for the job for Fantastic Four.
Yes. And just I think overall the action and everything's done really well in this movie. I think there's a lot of good action set pieces, a lot of fun things that are going to stand out and be remembered. I think from the trailer, the highway scene there on the bridge with Duck Ock and all that turned out really nicely. The ending, the third act and all that was done really well. So I think that's something that we're all going to kind of remember in this franchise going forward. As some of the better action spectacles that we've seen, and really cool finale, really cool third act finale kind of deal there, as you would expect from what you know. I mean, it was done really well, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, so much fun. And even that third act too has some of the best like whole Spider-Man shots that I've ever seen in a Spider-Man film. They really truly grasp the concept of Spider-Man in this movie. And the third act, I can't talk too much about it or I'll just go into spoiler territories. I'm just going to stop it at that and just say the third act, freaking amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it was great. It was an amazing third act, and I thought everybody who returned in this movie, and you guys know who they are and everything based on what you know, but I'm not going to confirm or deny anything at this point. But everybody who did return in this movie did a really good job of getting back into their roles. I thought, whether that's a hero or a villain or whatever, I thought they did. And obviously I mentioned Willem Dafoe earlier, and Doc Ock we talked about, but everybody else I thought that returned from a previous movie did a really good job of getting back into their roles. I think, even though it's been some time for some of them, I think it was a pretty seamless transition and it seemed legitimate, I thought. And at the end of the day, the way they did everything here, man, it is a Spider-Man fan's dream. Like, this is like a dream of a Spider-Man fan that just got culminated into one thing here, and it's just all your favorite parts coming together and just pure chaos, but in a great way. And yeah, I mean, I think if you're a Spider-Man fan, you're going to absolutely love every second of this.
Oh, dude. And I am a Spider-Man freak. And again, this met all my expectations. Like, if I were making a Spider-Man movie, I don't even think I can make it better than what this movie delivers. So I give credit to everybody, to the entire team who was a part of this project. Bravo, guys. Freaking just again, I'm not trying to use that word amazing because Amazing Spider-Man, but it's just
You're amazing.
fantastic. Yeah, it's just amazing, man. Like it really is. It's just this is a movie that I've been waiting for like since ever, since Spider-Man hit the big screen, and it just delivers on all fronts. And the last thing I want to mention, J. Jonah Jameson was bad. I loved him. I thought he was good. I feel like the only little nitpick I can do is we can maybe get a little bit more of him, but what they do show us was definitely memorable.
Bucker, you're fired. Yeah, man. Is that all you got to say about the positives?
Yeah, that's positive. And I'll just be honest with you. I got at this point, I'm sure I will down the road, but I got no negatives. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I'll take over the negative train here a little bit, man. I mean, again, at the end of the day, like I said, this is a Spider-Man fan's dream. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, at least of the original trilogy. And I enjoyed all the other ones. I thought, so I would say Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes out there. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this movie. These are going to be nitpicks. It didn't detract too much, but it's just a couple little things that held it back a little bit. That I felt like I needed to mention at least, because when you look at it objectively, there's some things you can see there. First and foremost, I think this movie is 100%. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but this movie is 100% fan service. That's what the whole purpose of this movie is to bring back as much nostalgia and fan service as you can and put it into one movie. And I think because of that, the plot is a little bit weak. At times, there's really not much of a story going on, and there's a lot. And with that becomes there's a lot of plot holes in there, and a lot of some characters come back, even though we've seen them be killed by Spider-Man before, and other characters don't, who were in the same boat, but there's still there's some things like that going on. The whole spell that you see in the trailer, I thought Doctor Strange was really quick to say, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's try that," even though it could be really, obviously, very dangerous. Just little things like that with the plot that just don't make sense. I thought the ending kind of twist they had at the end, I guess, was a little forced, and it just didn't seem like it was going to be totally, you'll see when you get there. Little things like that with that. But really the biggest thing is that really the villains, there was no motive for the villains. They're just piling them all into one room and they come out and they fight with Spider-Man, but there's no true motive for them. They're just all there and they're just being villains, and that's all they're there for. And for me personally, I like to see a little bit more story with the villains and a little bit more connection and a little bit more character, I guess you could say. There wasn't a lot of that here. They were just and you couldn't really do that with this movie because of how much you're trying to do. But again, these are nitpicks. I'm somebody who I'm more of a smaller scale kind of personal battle kind of guy, and you don't really get that here. I would have liked to see more character development for Peter as well, some more time maybe with him and MJ and things like that. But again, there's a lot going on here, so you can't really do that, and there's going to be more opportunity for that down the road, so it's fine. Again, these are nitpicks, but they're things I just felt like I kind of had to talk about briefly. Just some things once kind of the dust settles and the fan service kind of goes away and the nostalgia goes away, that there's going to be it's a little bit of a problem with the movie for me. But overall, still really, really amazing time, and one of the most fun movies you'll see. I mean, obviously, as far as the theater experiences go, this beat Endgame for sure for me. So I think, yeah, as far as experiences go, and honestly, I think it's probably a more fun movie too. But yeah, man, it's a great time. But these are my nitpicks.
Yeah, Nick picks negative, and I understand all that too. Pretty much of what you said, but I also got counter arguments with your nitpicks and negatives as well. But if we do that, we'd be here for a whole nother hour, and that's not our goal. Our goal is just to tell you for just non-spoiler stuff. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So Brad, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, that's it, man. I would elaborate a little bit more on them, but I just I would have to get in the spoiler territory to do that. So, but yeah, man, that's it, man, at the moment.
All right, let's go ahead and rate this bad boy. Brad, what would you give it? Because I know you're not giving it 5 out of 5. We already know what mine is, but
I'm still gonna. I mean, it's still gonna be pretty high. I'm gonna go. I mean, it's near perfect for me. I mean, as far as a great. I mean, I'm gonna give like a 4.75. A 4. Yeah, we'll go with the
Okay.
4.75.
You know what? And I'll accept that, and I'll go ahead and throw mine out there. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. This is just my dream come true, and it gave me everything that I wanted. So with that, this is probably going to be our highest Yippee Ki Yay to this point. I don't know the math of that. Just take our word for it. It's a high Yippee Ki Yay.
Yippee Ki Yay, motherfucker.
It's about as high as it gets, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, that's our non-spoiler review for Spider-Man: No Way Home. We highly recommend you seeing this movie as soon as you can, because the longer you go without seeing it, the more you're going to get spoiled. Trust me. So, I suggest you all go out there and see it as quickly as you can. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up in the web. What do you say, Brad?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And before I end this up, a quick shout out, real quick. To Caleb from the Dark Ether podcast YouTube channel. He drew this, and I'm not sure. And you can go over on our Instagram account and see a better picture of this. But Caleb, thank you so much. That is just again, I can't stop saying that word, amazing. We got to do a drinking game every time I say amazing. But we'd be freaking drunk off our asses. So I'm going to send us home, guys, or no way home. Okay, I got further out there. Okay, so guys, what did you all think about our non-spoiler review for Spider-Man No Way Home? Do you think it's the best Spider-Man out there and just the best Spider-Man movie you've ever seen? Or do you think there's some nitpicks and there's some problems with it where you do not think it's the best Spider-Man movie? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those links are going to be down below for you to find.
Absolutely. Again, be sure to pay attention to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, just because we just did upload our first episode of the Fight Club, and we'll be planning on in the future loading more content onto those podcast spaces. So just stay tuned for that. And how can you support this channel? Well, of course, you can like this video, share, and subscribe, but of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you all know when the next Spider-Man videos are up and running. Yes, sir. So go up, go, and we'll see you guys later.
Merry Christmas.